Hello and welcome to Celeb Jazz with KingSmith, the only channel that brings you the latest in entertainment, politics, and edutainment. Today we drive our cars and get on the plane and then go to USA. And we want to show you and talk about the first black woman vice president of the USA inside Kamala Harris's historical first days. In the hours after her historical inauguration, Kamala Harris beamed into televisions across the country, delivering her first speech as vice president just steps beyond the sitting relic of Abraham Lincoln and a short distance from where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. shared his iconic words that inspired generation. Even in dark times, she said, we not only dream, we do. We not only see what has been, we see what can be. She said, this is American aspiration. It was a notable move for a vice president to command so much of the spotlight alongside the new president-elect on inauguration day. Note, this moment belongs to all us black women, exult as Kamala Harris walks into history. To her historic role as the nation's first female, black and South Asian vice president, a source familiar with planning said, skyrocketing popularity show progress and project her significance as President Joe Biden's delegate lieutenant. It's an example of the outsized role Harris is likely to have as Biden governing partner and marks a contrast to the approach taken by President Donald Trump, who demanded the spotlight and regulated his own vice president to cleaning up his mess. Harris has been strategically visible as Biden's right-hand woman so far. At his side as he signed executive order after executive order in the state room and received private briefings on COVID-19 and the economy, she sat alongside Biden in the Oval Office as they received the president's daily brief, which was an occasional event for their immediate predecessors, but a frequent occurrence when Biden served as President Barack Obama with President Barack Obama. The president and his number two launched together Friday, with Biden writing on Facebook, a new administration means a new launch pattern. It's a tradition the White House says will continue and one Biden deeply valued in his years, as Obama said. Developing that relationship will be key as pair forge with governing path for the next 4 years. While Biden spent more than 4 decades in the halls of Congress and the White House, Harris, who served in the Senate for 4 years, is a relative newcomer to the new power corridors of Washington. Remember, the White House is in Washington, D.C. Those close to the history-making vice president say she's navigating that new reality, familiarizing herself with the rhythm of the West Wing and executive government, but eager to help solve the country's multiple crises. She was not joking when she said, it's time to get to work, one White House official told Celeb Jazz. In her first full day at the White House Thursday, Harris sat in her office mid-morning to read a letter left behind by Vice President Mike Pence. Aides declined to detail the context of the letter, calling in private, but Harris and her predecessor have enjoyed a slightly more cordial, though still delayed relationship than Biden and Trump have. Harris and Pence spoke by phone the week before the inauguration and again at the steps of the Capitol on Wednesday after the peaceful transfer of power. The two have left open the possibility of speaking in the future, an administration official said, similar to the conversation Biden and with Pence when Pence first took over the role of vice president. But those close to Harris say she will lean on Biden himself as a blueprint of how to do the job. This is not hard for President Biden to do because he's lived it himself and he knows the value of it. He knows that he brought value to President Obama in multiple ways and is going to want that out of Vice President Harris, said a close source in the White House, who once served as Biden's presidential communication director. So far, Harris has spent most of her time working out of her office in the West Wing, where Biden's Oval Office is completely decorated. Officials say Harris is still a work in progress, missing sentimental rigs and bus, but outfitted by a deep navy blue wall and a handful of framed photos of her mother, husband, sister, niece, and one of her unbaided. The former prosecutor will be adjusting to this new work life as he own in his type of Hapfield. Instead of moving into the official vice president's residence at a naval observatory, Harris and her husband Doug Enfield temporarily moved into Braille House on Thursday night, just across the street from the White House. It's a shorter commute, but one official cited increased security as the main benefit, an upgrade from the 140 megawatt condo building Harris occupied in DC. Among the updates, the vice president home at the Naval Observatory, a replacement chimney, liner, and other household maintenance that would be more easily conducted with the home unoccupied. And according to the White House official, a White House official said it is a Navy that manages the decades-old property and ordered the maintenance. Other possible updates could eventually include the kitchen, one source side, a self-proclaimed cooking Afro-Canado. Harris shared recipes and cooking videos during the campaign. The new vice president has said she looks forward to returning to hosting Sunday night dinner with her family in an effort to create some normalcy. Officials and those closest to Harris continued that her portfolio and how she will define herself over time are directly linked to the pandemic and economic crisis the Biden administration faces in his first term. At least initially, she will have to specific portfolio as the duo works out which issues she should prioritize. It's an early arrangement that allows her to have a hand in everything from the start. She's focused on how her office can support and amplify the administrative agenda, she said. A senior advisor and top spokesperson of Harris, that is Simon Sanders. Harris has undertaken some solo ventures as well, including outreach to allies, both foreign and domestic. On Friday, she spoke at an SU executive board meeting. According to a source, a private call left off her official daily guidance schedule. The day before, she spoke with the World Health Organization Director General, that is Dr. Tedros Adhanom, a call that confirmed she's eager to beef up her foreign policy experience. In the days before Biden introduced his massive that is 1.9 million, that is a US trillion coronavirus relief package, Harris was deployed to call mayors across the country to preview the legislation. Right now, the president has laid out 4 big challenges which require everyone bringing their best thinking to the table, as she is committed to being the best partner she can be for this president. As the new White House navigates the complexities of COVID-19, Harris is not expected to make foreign travel within the first 6 months of the new administration, an official said, but domestic travels could come sooner. Harris could also become a frequent face back on Capitol Hill, as she holds the title of Senate tiebreaker of the tenuous 50-50 majority Democrats. She's been vocal that she hopes to not cast any vote, instead aiming for common ground on legislations through bipartisanship. The goal is not to have to pass everything with 51 votes, a source added. If there are going to be votes in the Senate where the outcome isn't known, she basically has to stay in DC. International trips, national trips to small businesses or wherever that can really be happening, which is a new dynamic that's going to have to deal with another source spoke in more personal terms. It doesn't help her to make friends long term. You know, if she's thinking about running in 2024 or 2028, she's got to think about what sense going to need, the source said. Thank you so much for listening to Celeb Jazz. Watch and subscribe as we bring you more into the edutainment.